How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
over 100, and you're still saying that.
Well, it is my line.
It was never supposed to be your line to begin with. Anyways, today we are doing an interesting one. We are going to be covering The Voice.
I'm not in the Golden Age.
I wasn't talking about you.
Did you find a character named The Voice so you could make fun of me?
No, I actually stumbled onto a hero called The Voice because I couldn't help myself and was flipping through Centaur comics again, and I actually found more than one character named The Voice, and I thought it would be a great idea to cover these.
I didn't agree to any of this.
Well, as you said in the last video, your consent was unnecessary.
I can take over the video again, you know.
Let's not go down that road. Anyways, yes, I found someone named The Voice from Centaur Comics, and I found one from Quality Comics. We're covering the one from Centaur. This one is a little weird, directionless. Only a couple of appearances which have nothing to do with each other. I think that this was just I think that this creation was someone's fever dream that they put to print. And it's kind of silly. It's kind of ridiculous. There's 2 appearances, so they at least had some kind of an idea, but it was never popular enough to continue. So let's go ahead and take a look at The Voice from Centaur Comics and see if you agree with me that they really didn't have a solid idea of what they were going to do with this. Let's do this. The Voice, Dan Lang, first appeared in Amazing Man Comics number 22, 1941. The publisher is Centaur, and he's created by Michael Morando. Now, this is just going to be a quick lead-in, just because there's some things here I find interesting. Now, he only had 2 appearances, and I'm going to put the first page for both of his appearances up here so you can see how I don't think that they really knew what they wanted to do at first. And the first one, they say, The Voice, the man of mystery, can pitch his voice almost inaudible or as loud as a cannon, and with its vibrations can shatter stone and steel. That's what it is. And the second one, they give him much more descriptions of what he can do. They say that he has unusual powers, such as the power of hypnotism through voice control, agility, and strength, and has his own inventions. He can also throw his voice great distance, and they also say inaudible and as loud as a roar of a cannon. And he also has direct mental reaction he can direct the mental reactions of others. So in the first one, they say that he has voice that is so powerful it's devastating, and in the other ones they say that his voice can become loud like this, and they show that the voice is still strong, but that he can control others, which, you know, would have been really helpful in his first appearance. Now, I find that neither of these comic books have really great directions, honestly. In the first issue, he's fighting gangsters in Mexico who want to invade the U.S., and the second one, he fights a criminal ring who seems to be wearing these metal buckets on their head, and they only go so far because the voice, I don't know. He makes a whole bunch of them just stop as statues so the police can arrest him, and then he goes after the ringleaders and brings them down. But both of these, the first story actually has a bit more directions than the second one, but they expand on his powers so much more in the second one, and the fact that his parents were circus performers doesn't doesn't have anything to do with him at all. It's a complete non sequitur. There's no origin story. There's no cover appearances. There's no featured stories. He's not even mentioned on the cover of the stories that he appears in. If it wasn't for me just randomly flipping through comics just to see what was interesting, I probably wouldn't have found him at all. I accidentally stumbled on his first appearance, and if I didn't look him up, I would have missed his second. So that's it. It's real quick. It's not really well defined, and we'll go ahead and cover his first appearance, which it's only a 5-page story. His second appearance is a 7-page story. If you ever want to see the second appearance, we'll cover that one of these days. But here's his first appearance. Let's go over it quickly and see if you can enjoy this just as much as I did. Okay, before we get started, he's in Mexico, and all the Mexicans are dark-skinned. I did not create this. The Voice by Michael Morando. The Voice, man of mystery, can pitch his voice almost inaudibly or as loud as a cannon, and with its vibration can shatter stone or steel. As our story opens, we find a hooded figure looting the wealth of Mexico, vital in making possible the invasion of the United States. This is a weird lead-in, which I showed you the second lead-in. In the first lead-in, the second paragraph is describing the villain, and in the second story, both paragraphs are describing the hero. Usually when you start leading into the villain, you don't make it part of the hero's entrance. You give the hero more of a presence. Okay. You see this guy who will later reveal the voice. I can't even describe what it looks like he's doing there, and it looks like an oil field behind him. We must move fast. This makes 3 oil fields captured. Much later at Kirby Gold Mine. This makes the 4th gold mine capture. Inside the captured mine, El Zenargo. I think it's Zenargo. Okay, I just quickly looked it up. It's Zingaro. El Zingaro. Inside the captured mine, El Zingaro speaks. This captured gold helps us pay our armies. The oil feeds our planes. We will invade the United States in 30 days. So, let's see. I'm having to look up a lot of names today. Don Pecos is El Zingaro's next victim. As he barely fights, he says to the men, "Courage, men. I know my daughter will bring us help if we hold out just a little longer." And then we come to the daughter. Don Pico's daughter has reached her destination. She hurries from her car to the building of the Daily Star, of which her father's friend is an editor. So Flora goes to the editor, and he is able to get a hold of the Voice. And later they see the Voice and Flora together. Meanwhile, down near Don Picos and his brave fighters are about exhausted, so Zingaro's men are going to go attack. As they move in, we see this. One of Zingaro's men and his gun aim, suddenly, mysteriously, the gun violently blown out of his hand. And the torch is blown out, and these rocks are falling on others, while another one gets blown completely out of the tree. The rest of the gang, seeing the strange and unaccountable things happen, are panic-stricken and leave in great haste. And then we see this man with the mask shows up. He receives thanks from Don Pecos, and he said, "You saved me from a terrible fate. How can I repay you?" So he questions one of Zingaro's men and later disguises as one of them and invades the headquarters. Now, I was going to take exception of this. I'm like, every one of these people are dark skinned. How did he possibly blend in? And actually, if you look behind the hooded figure, one of them's green. I think somebody was playing with watercolors and it leaked a little bit. Now, I was going to complain that they were all dark skinned, but when the voice is beating up the people, they don't appear dark. They actually appear to be white skinned like him. So I guess that can be how he was able to blend in with them. So he does invade the meeting and he listens to the plan. After disclosing his plans for invading the U.S., El Zingaro calls on all to denounce the U.S. government by raising their hands close-fisted. All comply, save for one lone figure, the voice. Hey, look, it's fourth down. Okay, no more football references. Seeing this, the Centaur, El Zingaro, orders his men to seize him. So as El Zingaro's men move in, he starts beating up everyone. Pandemonium breaks loose. I love that. And then he starts beating up people left and right, throwing them all over the place. Somehow finds a rope and does his best impression of Spider-Man. Having no desire for personal conflict, El Zingaro sneaks out through a secret panel. You coward. Okay, so the voice uses his incredible powers and blows out a light bulb so he can sneak out in darkness. It says during the confusion he sleeps out, and then we can actually see the destructive power of his voice. Disgusted and mad, the voice throws his voice. The voice throws his voice. Okay. Okay. I know, but the wording of the sentence isn't okay. In a loud roar, it tears down the building, pinning the bandits in the wreckage. And this is a great scene. You see the building splitting in half, and two guys are in midair. Were they on the roof? Did the voice just travel so high that it threw them into the air? That's incredible. And then next, we get a little glimpse of his power. He's able to tune his voice to the wavelength of the police radio. I want to call BS, but I'm just going to let it go. Suspension of disbelief. Huh? It's the voice. And let's go ahead and read these last two pages. Or last two panels. Suddenly, one of the bandits who extricated himself from the wreckage. Wow. That's impressive considering the building fell on you. From the wreckage starts after the voice with a knife in hand. The knife knocks out of his hand and I guess he falls backwards. It just doesn't say. Don Pecos' daughter thanks the voice. I must locate and destroy this menace to the world's peace. The war must never reach the U.S. We must stop it outside the U.S. Or we must never reach the USA. We must stop it outside the USA. I don't like the wording of the sentence. We must never reach the USA. We must stop it outside the USA. That doesn't really flow off the tongue. And that's it. There's no follow-up. There's no second story. I actually would have liked to have seen the voice stop Zenargo, but that's it. The second appearance has nothing to do with the first one. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this for what it was. I hope you learned something. Next week, I want to do the one from Quality Comics. And yeah, the voice was partially me looking up something called The Voice to make sure I wasn't, copying someone else. And half of it was I actually stumbled on The Voice. I was submitting the comics, and I'm like, The Voice. Yeah, something like my character. Okay. Until next time, I'll be seeing you.